Hello,
Hi,
hello, dear
Julia.
creative friends. Welcome to Brave Brush Studio YouTube show and our new episode. This is the number one place to be for creative tips and sketching inspiration. While the best way to learn from us is in Brave Brush Studio, we try to make sure that every free YouTube video and every post that we do on Instagram and on our blog brings value to you and makes you a better, happier sketcher. So, Julia, what are we doing today?
Today we're going to use a very loose and hopefully quick technique. Yes, it's a quick technique, and it's a good technique to practice your watercolor skill and also to practice your drawing skill because we are going to use watercolor and ink. And we will draw some fruits.
Okay, let's draw some fruits. What
Yeah.
do we need? What do we need for today's tutorial?
We need a watercolor, of course, a
Mhm.
few colors. If you have a very simple set of watercolors, a few colors, and like yellow, red, uh, yeah, dark red is better, and then you can paint it already. Further, we will need a large brush. A very important thing for painting loosely is a large brush. If you use a
Mhm.
small brush, you can't.
Okay, and you mean size 10,
12, I think.
12 even? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right,
Uh,
what about paper?
Paper. I'm going to use cotton paper, handmade,
So very
100%
textured.
textured paper. Yes, yes. It's a little bit more difficult to use fineliner on it. I'm going to use uh, my favorite fountain pen from Ellington.
Okay, so this is the stealth.
Yes, yes, and black ink. So it's in it.
All right.
Also fun to use colored ink, but yeah,
Not for this tutorial.
no,
All
not
right.
really.
Okay, let's get started.
Yeah. Okay, so first thing that we need to do is to,
No, Julia, first thing we need to do is admire this beautiful paper.
yeah, it's really so nice. So textured, very, very beautiful. Um, I'm going to use yellow. It's a warm yellow. Let me show you here. Warm yellow. And we're going to paint cherries. Maybe it's an important thing to say. The third fruit will be cherries. And I don't make any sketch, preliminary sketch. I just start to paint. And I do it like this. So yellow on this side, and let's make both cherries at the same time. And then I use alizarin crimson. It's a dark red color for the other side. And I think my cherries are a little bit too dark now, so I can add more yellow to them. And with the tip of the brush, I make this side a little bit rounder. Remove some color here for the nice look. And this way we create a volume. I don't know, maybe a little bit more color on this side. So no other colors or no other, I don't know, details, whatever. A leaf. For the leaf, I'm going to use two colors. And on my palette I have a little bit messy color, so I'm going to use the other part of my palette. And create a beautiful green mixing two colors, yellow and blue. And my leaf will be like this. Just that's all. I also want to paint, so we need to leave it alone and wait until it dries, and then we can add um,
The ink.
ink to it. Yes, and I want to make this leaf a little bit sharper. And the next fruit will be, let me see, let's do pear. Okay, so the pear will be like this. Also, actually the same idea. I start with a light color, and let's use my color palette now for the lighter color. Again, warm yellow. A lot of water because it's cotton paper. It's very important to use a lot of water. And I paint the shape of the pear like this. More paint. Maybe some pink, just a little bit. And some alizarin crimson for the bottom and the shadow. And also a leaf, or maybe two. I already have some color here. Let's make them small because I don't have any space anymore on this side. A very light one and a bit darker one. So use more paint for that. And I think now we need it to dry a little bit, a few minutes. It depends on your paper. If your paper is cellulose paper, then it will dry in a few minutes and maybe 2 minutes. But if you have cotton paper, as I do, then it takes maybe 10 minutes before it completely dry.
Okay, it looks like the paint is dry. Are we
Yes.
ready to use the ink?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. So, yeah, I will use my fountain pen, Ellington fountain pen.
But you
And
could use a fine liner or any other ink, really.
fineliner is a little bit difficult on this paper. So if you have structured paper, use fountain pen or maybe watercolor the dip pen.
Mm.
Yeah, that's better on rough paper.
So the fine liner would just get stuck a little bit in this paper.
Yeah, you almost can't see the lines, so
Mhm.
it doesn't really make. Maybe very thick fine liner would work. Okay, so the cherries. I just draw the cherries, and as you can see, I don't really follow the lines of the um, watercolor, but I paint. Oh, I draw. I mean, it's a little bit feels a little bit like it's not completely dry, but that's dry enough for now. And for the leaf, this is how cherries leaves look like. Short lines, long lines, and it's quite weird. I maybe I need to use some paper to prevent it from ruining.
And it's been what, 20 minutes since you painted, right? It's not
Yeah, yeah.
5 minutes later, it's 20 minutes later, and the paint is still not completely dry.
No, no, it's because this um cotton paper, 100% cotton paper. It depends on the paper actually. But I mean, also if you have cotton paper, some will dry quicker than others. And what I also like to do is to add some darker spots to uh, to sketch. So I press a little bit harder on my pencil or pen and create thicker lines and darker spots. And we can add another one here, for example. So as you can see, the sketch is actually very, very quick. The only thing that is not quick is waiting until the paint dries. But if you use cellulose paper, then your paint dries very quickly.
But
But
will it be as pretty?
no, 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 no. Maybe. But I prefer to use cotton paper because it's uh, it's the better paper for creating beautiful transitions.
Okay.
That's all. Yeah. Okay. Let's let's draw the pear, and the pear will be like this. You can, of course, also use some details with the paint if you like it. But I mean, it's so much quicker and also such good practice um, for your skill if you make beautiful, not beautiful per se, but quick sketches. For practicing, it's often better to draw quickly instead of spending a lot of time on one sketch and make it very, very beautiful.
I can see that even with the fountain pen, it's a bit difficult for you, right, to
Yes,
draw the lines.
sometimes
But it's very rough paper.
it's very rough paper indeed, but maybe it's the fountain pen at this moment,
Mhm.
um, because of the paper. It works much better on the smooth paper. I have here some smooth paper and it just
Mhm.
works on it, but it doesn't on this rough paper somehow. And let's add some lines to create a suggestion of a shadow or texture here and there. The nib of this pen is quite thin, so this is also um, the difficulty for this paper, I think, because the paper is rough, the nib is thin, so the combination is maybe not the perfect one,
The
but
fruit
it
are
works.
beautiful, Julia. The fruit
Oh,
are
thank you.
beautiful. I know you have a little sketchbook filled with fruits like that. Could you show that?
Yes, yes, it's here.
Okay.
um,
Is it the
and
same paper?
it's not the same paper. No, it's not the same paper, but it's also a handmade paper. It's a very
Hmm.
small sketchbook. It's I don't know what format it is. I think it's maybe a half of A5.
Okay.
It's
Right.
really very very small, but it doesn't fit in, in my screen.
Okay.
um,
You had well, you made those sketches before you had this fountain pen. What did you use for ink in
yeah,
this?
I used the dip pen. What is
Yes, a dip pen.
the
Yes.
dip pen? Yes, and you can see that some of the lines are not that perfect in first place because I wasn't sure where to add shadow
Mhm.
in the beginning, but
Okay. Show us
later
some more. Show us some more.
here
I
a
do not
different
remember that
technique.
one. Hmm.
Yeah, you also can do that. Just use the the ink for not for the fruit itself, but for the other fruits around it.
Okay.
The pears, also a few very nice ones. The cherries.
Okay. I think the ones you created today are much more beautiful.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I like this one because there are more color. But on the other hand, I also I think that it's also good to use just one color. It looks pretty, or two colors of two tones of the same color. It's also a possibility. I love this page. I don't know. I think it's so nice with blueberries. Don't like this one that much. This is better. I don't know. I added too much shadow to the previous one. Um, yeah, these are also interesting sketches. I think also exactly the same techniques. Just put some color on the page and then add the ink to it. Yeah, and you have a very lovely sketch. um, uh, yeah, I think this is the last one, and I have some unfinished. Yeah, by the way, for these sketches, I used pencil before I started to draw it, and it's because the composition is much more complicated. So I started with a very rough sketch just to know where the fruits will come. Yeah, so that's the sketchbook.
This is amazing, Julia.
Thank
Um,
you.
Thank you for sharing this technique and also a peek into your sketchbook.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed Julia's sketchbook as much as I did, and I hope your fruit turned out delicious, bright, and juicy
Beautiful.
and
Just
beautiful. All right. And remember, it is just practice, right?
absolutely.
We're not here to create masterpieces, we're here to practice. So practice, practice, practice until we see you next week with a new episode. Happy sketching.
Happy sketching, guys.